What's up, everybody? It's Sick Braxton, aka Clueless Vino, and I am back with another edition of Wine Would I Do. This edition, we're gonna do a somewhat original show, but it involves a lot of shows from my childhood and your childhood alike. So let me kind of set this up. If you remember in SpongeBob, there was this episode in which Barnacle Boy decides he wants to be a bad guy, wants to be an evildoer. He teams up with the evil man Ray and the Dirty Bubble, and they become every villain is Lemons, aka evil. And that episode's classic. It's fun because, SpongeBob and them, they get superpowers or they join forces to try to track down evil, and it's funny, it's hilarious because there's no real danger involved. But I want to play on that group. I like that group. The Every Villain is Lemons is a funny acronym. It's just a funny group but let's make that group into evildoers, but let's make it hilarious. So today's edition of Why Would I Do, we're doing a wholly original Every Villain is Lemons cartoon show. So here we go. The setting is, first of all, it's on Nickelodeon. Let's get that out of the way. This is a Nickelodeon original, so there's not going to be any Cartoon Network evildoers. So unfortunately, we can't have Mojo Jojo, no Disney, no outside of Nickelodeon evildoers. This is strictly Nickelodeon. And when I mean Nickelodeon, is they had to have had a home at Nickelodeon at some point and had at least the orange logo slapped on it. So, and the setting is just this fictional world where all the universes sort of mesh together. I don't want to necessarily call it canon, but I do want to have the opportunity to have some crossover episodes or characters from certain shows be able to hop in and be a part of Every Villain is Lemons. Onto the members of Every Villain is Lemons, and so it breaks down as this. The first up is the Brain, from Pinky and the Brain. So the Brain is in the show. Then we have Ren Hoek from Ren and Stimpy. Then I want to put in Invader Zim, or just Zim, Vicky from the Fairly Odd Parents, and finally the leader of Every Villain is Lemons, Plankton. So that is your 5-man group, and the basis of the show is that Plankton has finally had enough of not being able to succeed in his goals, and he decides, well, why don't I just join up with other evil masterminds? We've seen it in some others, or we've seen an episode where he wanted to do that with other Plankton, but his family is full of country bumpkins, so that didn't work out as well. But in this one, he does end up meeting and getting the services of these 4 other people, and they get together and they're like, okay, so what do we do? And the joke is that they really don't know what they want to do because they all have different goals in life, right? So Vicky doesn't really want to take over the world, but Brain wants to take over the world. Plankton just wants the Krabby Patty formula. They all have these weird separate goals, and so most of each episode goes around where they end up settling on a certain goal, but by the end of the episode, instead of doing the evil thing they did, they always end up doing something good for someone in the episode. And each character is basically, they have their certain gags, right? So the Brain is basically making the plans, but just like in Pinky and the Brain, he has no short of confidence, even though every plan he ever makes fails, right? And then with Ren's gag is he's psychotic. We all know Ren. Ren almost kills Stimpy on a daily basis. So in this show, let's just take the cuffs off, and he does kill someone every episode, right? Or at the very least sends them to the hospital, depending on where this show is gonna land, right? Because with some of these properties, you could probably get away with, but Ren and Stimpy has been on like Comedy Central, Spike TV. They're playing a dangerous game. But yeah, Ren hurts people. Zim is basically like the Wile E. Coyote of the show. He has all these gadgets, every gadget you can imagine, and yet none of them really like work to their advantage, or if they do, it aids in the ending of the episode for the good of the people. Then we have Vicky. Vicky's gag is she's always has a good idea to torture somebody, and when they always ask her, wait, have you tested this? Yeah, I tested on kids, and they're always like, wait, what? And she's like, nothing. So like, she's probably the worst of all, because she's using all these different, you see what she does to Timmy Turner, bro. They're like, yo, we're bad, but you might be the worst of all of us doing all this to different kids and stuff. And obviously Plankton is just the mastermind, but it's weird coming from the smallest dude possible. So they have this 5 different clashing personalities, and so for example, let's just say there's an episode where they want to, we'll just say, remove all the ice cream in the world so no kid can have them, right? So we'll just say Vicky this is her plan of the day. Well, in the episode, they're so focused on this one goal, they don't realize that they basically manifested a situation where all the kids get free ice cream at the end of the episode. They may not have meant to do it, but they did do it. And I think it'll just be fun to just watch these 5 evildoers actually become the heroes at the end of the episode, because they're in the media. They're again like in SpongeBob. They're like, oh, every villain is of this evildoers group, but really they're just a bunch of softies who are going to end up either saving the day, or they'll aid someone instead of hindering as they originally intended. I think what's fun about this is you can bring different characters into the show. Why not have an episode where Timmy Turner pops up? Or why not have an episode where Ren and Brain get kidnapped and it's up to Pinky and Stimpy to save the day? Like, imagine them succeeding in their goal when Brain and Ren cannot. And it would just be funny to watch the roles get reversed and watch these 2 dumb characters save these 2 other characters. Obviously SpongeBob episode can have a great spin-off, and I think there's just so much opportunity for great dialogue between these characters. Whether or not it's going to be like an adult show is it can't really be an adult show, mainly because it's a Nickelodeon product, and Nickelodeon is really, really iffy about how they present their characters. So I think there's still a good chance you can make it into a kids show, maybe tone down Ren a little bit, and just the evil stuff is your typical world domination, but not really type thing. And I think they have a chance to really, we don't need a long run, because eventually you'll run out of ideas, but like a 2-season run, I don't see why we can't do that. Maybe like a little TV movie, I think would be cool, man. I think at the end of the day, the best way to describe this show, this cartoon, is Nickelodeon's answer to the Suicide Squad, basically. It's a group of evildoers who end up actually saving the day despite their other goals that they have for each other. So tell me what you think, man. What do you think of the Nickelodeon Suicide Squad, aka every villain is lemons. Tell me who you would put in there. Tell me if, you know, what kind of episodes would you think would be great to be on there. If you like this video, like, share, subscribe, comment on it. Let me know what you think. And yeah, man, as always, drink up.